Right now, say I want Josh Taylor and get the Josh Taylor fight because he's over. That's right. So anybody on that pipeline right now, that's a big deal.
I talked his ass, but the same day that James Tony came in and signed the contract. Wow. So I'm talking to Bobo on the phone like this. Look, I got Zab on one phone, I got James on one phone.
What is Crawford gonna do? He's gonna beat Sean. Everybody listen, he's gonna beat Sean. He's gonna beat Sean.
Mike Lewis is the perfect example of what I'm talking about.
My bad. Welcome to Let's Talk Sports, y'all. This is AK the Apostle, and tonight we're gonna get into this is the Amazon Prime's first PBC first pay-per-view bout with Tsysu versus Fundora, and we're gonna get into the whole card and some other stuff. But let's just start with the bloodbath. The bloodbath that was Fundora versus Tsysu. I mean, obviously the elbow that caught Tsysu in the head and caused, both of them to bleed pretty bad, altered the fight. Accidental on purpose, it altered the fight, and it led to Sebastian being able to fight, pretty smart fight using his jab for the first time and ending up getting the decision win over Tsysu. What y'all think about the fight? What y'all think about the card? But I got mixed emotions. Because I do think the cut really, Tim is fighting blood out his eyes the whole fight. We're not giving no excuses, no blue card, because the question you got to ask a lot of people though, this can happen in any fight. You know what I mean? How do you view a fight when this happens? Like this can happen in any fight, accidental headbutts, accidental anything. These things happen all the time. So we can end up with another fight where somebody that we thought was going to win, or somebody's in a fight and they get, a bad cut and it alters the whole fight. What do how do you really view that fight? But I'm going to say this. I'm not a fan of what I saw at the end. I definitely didn't like Earl getting in the ring. I definitely don't think Sebastian Fundora should be fighting Earl Spence next. I don't think we should see anything other than Sebastian Fundora versus Tsysu too. I don't see it. But it wouldn't surprise me because boxing is doing a lot of bizarre things this year. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring a few people in here in a few minutes. But yeah, boxing is doing a few things. But tell me what y'all think about the Tsysu Fundora situation. Is it legit? You know what I mean? How y'all feel about that? What's up, my man, Rob? How y'all doing? What up? Talk to me. The cut. I know the cut changed the fight. We don't give out blue cards, but we know the cut changed the fight. It's no question the cut changed the fight. And at first it looked like Tsysu was on his way to pretty much dominate Fundora, even though Fundora was boxing pretty good. But it did look like Tim was on his way to a relatively easy night because he was landing his shots and he was landing them big. So then all of a sudden we get the big cut. Tim can't see. Fundora really turned up the jab. He did what he's supposed to do. He did what he's supposed to do. You get an opportunity, whether, like I said, it wasn't his fault. Tim ducked his head and went into his elbow. He didn't do it on purpose. So, yeah, you got to take advantage of the situation, and he went in and got it done. What y'all think of the fight? What y'all think of the card? Mm. Let me know if you want to come up, Charlie. Wasn't Fundora bleeding nonstop from the nose? Could have altered his breathing. This is what you get paid for. I agree. I agree. I'm not saying I'm not. As we say, we don't give out blue cards. I agree. Fundora nose was bleeding. Fundora was bleeding bad. Both was bleeding bad. It was a true blood and guts night. So if that's what you're looking for, like a lot of people that watch MMA, you want to see blood and guts. You truly got that in that main event. You got blood and guts. But again, I only want to see one fight from Fundora, and that is him versus Tsysu again. I need to see that again. Catch the replay, cuzzo. Catch the replay. But like I said, that definitely, yeah, you got to watch that joint. Definitely got it. They got to run it back. I'm not a fan of. We're gonna get into the Earl Spence getting in the ring and the Earl Spence possibly fighting Fundora. We're gonna get into all of that in a little bit. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yo, thank you for having me.
You don't have a logo or something if you ain't gonna show your face.
I'm getting the light. Hold on just a
Okay.
second.
Okay. But while you doing that, what did you think of the fight?
While doing that, I thought it was a great card. I thought the $70 was worth it.
Okay.
Granted, that main event, like I could see where everybody's coming from. I could see people that had it for Zoo. I could see people that had it for Fundora. I see people that had it a draw. And I mean, it was a very close one to call. It was very messy. But all in all, I think it was a good card. I think that boxing should be happy with what we got tonight.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
Carmel Moten opening us up. Then we had Sergey Bohashuk and Brian Mendoza. Then we went into the main card with some good knockouts, some great stoppages, and I mean, a bloodbath. But I mean, a really good technique that was shown. So I mean, I'm happy with it.
Oh, real quick, April 6th, Golden Glove Tournament live at Rose Cross Raceway. I will be there. I got one of my guys is fighting in the championship that night, Rob. So I definitely will be there. I will be in the building for that. I thought that's next Saturday, correct? I definitely will be there one way or another. Y'all in the comment section, talk to me. What do you think? What do you think about the decision? Do you think it was a fair decision? Did you like the card as a whole? I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Even though we got some good action tonight, even though we got whatever, I'm still not satisfied with boxing right now. I'm still disturbed. It's a lot of I'm gonna wait because there's a lot I gotta unleash. I am upset with everything I got tonight, but I'm gonna tell y'all why. But I thought once the fight got fought, yeah, the decision had to go to Fundora. Since the fight got fought, Fundora won the fight. For whatever reason we want to make it, the cut, the elbow, he won the fight. He won the fight. I just think that it'll be a disservice to the sport if they don't run it back. What you think?
I can agree with that. We definitely do need to run this one back. I know personally the fight I saw, I personally thought that Tsysu did enough to edge it from the mixing of the work. It wasn't just simple jabs or straights. There were a variation of punches. There were overhands. There were body shots. There were uppercuts. There was a lot that Tsysu was doing rather than simple jabs and straights. I mean, granted, any other fight, like Sebastian Fundora was supposed to do that. But I mean, from the fight that I saw, I honestly had Tsysu winning. But as you saw from the official scorecards, it was a split decision, 116 to 112, which was the same card that I had for Tsysu. Another judge had it 116 to 112 for Fundora. And then the tiebreaker decision being 115 to 113. if you
That's the
pull the
card.
numbers with
That's the
that,
card I agree with.
yeah. If you pull the numbers on it, 116 to 112 is 8 rounds to 4.
Right.
Whereas the 115 to 113, that's 7 rounds to 5.
That's
That
more.
was
That's
only
more like it.
one round different that went the other way. That fight would have been a draw.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was, I'm saying again, it was a very close contested fight. Neither boxer dominated the other. And I feel that those scorecards did speak justice to the bout that actually took place. I do strongly agree with you that we definitely do need to run this one back, because this one, from what we saw, is deserving of a rematch. Hopefully this time without an accidental foul, without blood going directly into the eyes of Tsysu, and for Sebastian Fundora dealing with, I'm not sure if it was a broken nose or deviated septum, wherever the case was, but that blood, it was just an uncontrolled bleed that was coming out of Sebastian Fundora's nose during the entire bout, for the most part. So, I mean, like, honestly, that was our St. Valentine's Day massacre. Like,
All right,
that
now,
bloodbath that we got. That's
now
what
let's get
our
to the fight.
generation got.
Now let's get to the fight. I'm pretty sure most of the viewers that's on here want to talk about. Rolando Romero versus Pitbull Cruz. What was your thoughts on that fight?
Oh, that was so satisfying to watch. I can't even deny it. That was so satisfying to watch. Yes, Pitbull ragdolled Rollie for the duration of that bout. Like, Rollie was practically doing the splits in the ring. He was confused. He was bewildered, had no idea how to deal with that type of pressure. And then, like, holding on for dear life, was cautioned a few times by the referee until he was forced to take a point from Rollie. And I mean, the fact that even Brian Custer had revealed that on the official scorecards, one judge did have Rollie winning the fight before that moment. And I mean, I don't think I have vision problems, but I need to see the fight that judge saw in order to, like, see how Rollie won that in their eyes. I don't see it.
All right, shout out to Pitbull Cruz for doing what he did. All you can do is get in the ring and fight. All you can do is show up and do what you got to do. So he came out there to give the fans what they came to see. I will say this, though. Rollie is hilarious whenever he's in the ring. I mean, even when his body movements, his facial expressions, he is hilarious. He is just something I'm like, what am I watching? And this, like, it's funny to see him, even, no matter what, even when he's doing bad, he's funny to watch. However, I'm disturbed about this fight because I'm just still stuck on the fact that how did this fight become a title championship fight at the 140-pound division with all them fighters that's up there that's worthy? How did they do it? I'm not gonna cry with spilled milk. Pitbull is good for boxing. Pitbull Cruz is good for boxing. So I'm going to say that Pitbull is good for boxing. I just don't like how they politically put them in this position for this title fight. But we're here now. We're here now. So everybody in the comment section and all that's doing, who do y'all want to see Pitbull fight next? I'm a bet $1 to $1. I will assure you, it won't be Teofimo Lopez. It won't be Devin Haney, and it will not. It definitely will not be. Who am I looking for? Who's the other one? Matias. It won't be Matias. Them fights not gonna happen.
Yeah, of course not. It's not gonna be any of those. Now, granted, PBC, I'm not sure if they're still doing the gated community thing now that they're at Prime, but
how they doing the gated? No, hold on. How you gonna make that statement? You see them making fights.
You know how I made that statement.
But look at all the fighters that's making all the fights with other networks. They're doing it.
With other networks. But how many of them have been able to make fights with PBC?
What do you mean?
How many of them?
They're letting their fighters go on other networks and fight. What do you want them to do?
I don't know. I mean,
Hyman Mugir from the zone.
If
Hyman Mugir from the zone, he's fighting Canelo next in a fight I absolutely cannot stand.
Yeah, but that was in essence of Canelo being able to call the shots.
He didn't want that fight. He wanted to fight Jamal Charlo, remember? He walked away from the deal because he wanted Charlo.
Well, look what happened. Look what
Yeah,
happened.
they're basically saying they believe that Hyman McGee can bring in X amount of dollars.
Look, it's Cinco de Mayo weekend. Let's be honest. It's an all Mexican main event. I'm not sure what the undercard is going to stack up to.
Could have been all Mexican if he fought the right guy too.
It could have been. It could have been. But you know as well as I do, with the powers that be, that fight ain't happening anytime soon. It may never happen.
It ain't the power that be. Canelo did be. Canelo didn't want it.
You know, it's a blanket statement, right? I mean, let people's imagination run wild, and you can plug in whoever you want to plug in.
I'm hot tonight, man.
Fact of the matter is,
I'm hot tonight.
Okay, fair enough. But
I'm
just
saying,
I mean, the fight could have been made if the person in power wanted to make that fight happen. He didn't want to. Therefore, the fight didn't happen. You know that as well as I do.
So that's all I'm saying. That joint didn't. So we could have had an all Mexican Cinco de Mayo fight if he fought the right Mexican boxing.
We could have.
But they chose Hyman McGee. But all I'm saying is they're making fights. The fights are being made.
Yeah, they are making fights.
But the certain fights, those fights, I'm a 1,000% sure. Even though everybody will say, "Oh, Devin Haney will box the socks off Pitbull Cruz," that's not a fight they're lining up for right now. I promise you they're not.
And why would they? Why would they line that fight up?
And Bob is not dancing. Bob is not going to dance with Teofimo. How is Teofimo Lopez fighting Steve Claggett? Somebody tell me this, y'all. Tell me this.
You know how that's happening.
Listen to me. I went through because I was challenged this week about a post that I put up on in one of my groups, in one of our groups. I was challenged this week about the sanctioning bodies and who's fighting who and whatever. And I'm looking at it. Not nobody's fighting a mandatory. Nobody's fighting a mandatory. Everybody's fighting whoever they want. So, okay, we got Coach Zeus in the building.
What up?
All right, right now we talking about one of your guys, Rollie Romero, who you stamped and you
hold on.
Said he was the truth.
Hold on. I ain't never said that. Don't put that on me.
When I downgraded Rollie, you're on record. We have receipts. So you saying why y'all be talking bad about Rollie? You on receipt?
Because he had a belt. Yeah, he had a belt.
You are definitely on. There's a receipt of you saying.
There's a receipt of me saying treat him like a guy that has a belt. Yes, I said that.
Even though we told you he didn't deserve it. Correct.
That's cool. He still had it. He don't have to deserve it.
So what do you think of his performance tonight?
Man, shout out to Pitbull, man. Shout out to Pitbull, man.
You call that a performance?
Pitbull did what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? They'd be clowning Pitbull if he lost tonight. Folks told me that Rollie, they was hiding Rollie from certain people, and Rollie was gonna have his belt because the superpowers that be, one of them had a belt, and it was going this and that. Nah, Pitbull went in there and did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pitbull.
Where the powers that be was in a win-win tonight. Because both of them were their fighters. So
yeah. I'm
you
cool
know
with
what? I forgot. You know what? This is what I forgot. What I was right about was this. You will 1,000% will not see Pitbull Cruz in the ring with Matias, Lopez, or Haney next, but there is a possibility he will be in the ring with a rematch with Gervonta Tank Davis.
I don't have a problem with that. We already know what it is. We know what it is.
You would.
We know what it is, bro. Like I already said, if y'all waiting for Tank to fight,
I'm not worried. That's not my issue. That's not my issue. It's not my issue. It's not my issue at all.
So why you got issue with him fighting Pit? Listen, we said last year it was gonna be a Pitbull rematch. What's the issue now?
I
You
have
already knew it.
I have an issue with a lot of fights that's coming up on boxing. I have an issue with Earl Spence being in that ring tonight. I have an issue with Earl Spence even being in the thoughts of fighting Sebastian Fundora instead of a rematch with Tim. I have a problem with all of this.
You gonna have to listen. You gonna have to get over this real soon because
No,
Gon.
I don't have to get over nothing. I mean,
Listen, listen, listen,
I
listen.
will
Hold on,
watch
hold on.
whatever I will watch whatever's presented on my television and the
Right,
fights that's put together, but I don't have to get over it. I have the
AK.
right to
We
stand up for boxing.
AK. We talked about this 6 months ago, and I told you
You
I
talked about
don't.
so
I
that
don't.
you hold on. You said 6 months ago that Fundora would be fighting Earl. You said that?
No, no, that's not what I. You gotta
Okay.
let me finish, sir. I appreciate you. We talked about this 6 months ago. I said, gone are the days, right, where boxing is about prestige. Gone are the days where boxing is about really
Prestige.
holding your head up to any accomplishment that you have. Now it's about a dollar, and it's about the casuals. That's what boxing is about. Sebastian Fundora versus Tim Tszyu is nothing but a casual setup for what's about to happen next. When Errol Spence tweeted he was going to be at that fight, when he tweeted he was going to be at that fight, we already knew what this was, bro. This is just it. All this is one big circus, bro. It's all one big circus.
Understood. I'm not accepting. I'm not cool with it. Now, those that's cool with it, that's fine. I'm not one of them. You know what I mean? I'm not. Listen. We left off on the sport with the sport trending in a particular direction. Gave us hope for 2024. We was all anticipating the big 2024. We supposed to get multiple undisputed fights, multiple big fights, and the only Debbie Downer was possibly the rematch between Spence and Crawford that we didn't want.
Right
But
now,
everything was trending the right way. We didn't expect to get MMA fighters and crossover fights, exhibitions with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and nobody's fighting nobody. We didn't expect that. This is not what we signed up for.
did you expect Sebastian Fundora to beat Tim Tszyu tonight?
Well, we did. I mean, it's that came with a lot. That fight has a lot that's in the mix. You know what I mean? They need to run
I'm
that
just
back.
gonna give you a straight answer. No,
I
no.
appreciate. Yeah, yeah. I tonight Tim Tszyu was supposed to beat the dog crap out of Sebastian Fundora. And after that, he was supposed to do his major call out, which would have been a big announcement for the boxing world at the state of 154. Now, the issue that I have is, and the only issue that I have, when your boy Earl Spence announced that he was going to show up to that fight, everybody under them posts was, is it going to be Earl Spence and Tim Tszyu next? Earl Spence and Tim Tszyu, Earl Spence and Tim Tszyu. It was like, hold on, Slim. How Earl just get to jump everybody like that, bruh? How Earl get to just now he at 154 and he gonna be the best thing at 154? I don't understand how we picking and choosing who get to jump who, because nobody had an issue when Ryan jumped 6 different people to go fight Devin Haney. Nobody had an issue with this circus that was Isaac Cruz and Rolly Romero. I've been talking to everybody. Nobody had an issue with it. People want to pretend like
You
it's an
clearly
issue
talking to
now that it's
somebody that had an
over.
issue with all of it. So you clearly heard me just say I got an issue with all of it. I just
Right, but
said that
this is
20
after the
minutes
fact.
ago.
This after the fact.
No, I've been saying I had a problem with it all along, brother. I never stamped that once.
Did you stamp the Tim Tszyu Fundora fight?
We ain't had no choice. It's a replacement fight.
Okay. Did you stamp the Tim Tszyu one-time fight?
No.
Okay. All right. All right.
I
Did you?
can't think of too many people in their right mind that did. In fairness, Coach Zeus, I don't think too many people were even considering that fight.
Listen, we accepted the fight because it's clear Tim Tszyu was in a situation where he wanted to bump. No matter what, whoever coming his way, he trying to fight. If it's Charlo, if it's this person, he trying to bump. The only person he could get in the ring was Keith. You know what I mean? For circumstances that's beyond his control. And Keith, obviously, let's call a spade a spade. Respect to Keith. He my guy. Clearly, Keith was taking the Pepsi challenge, but he was doing it in a sense of this is the biggest risk and the reward I'm gonna get without having to fight that young ball at 147, who I feel don't bring me much value. That's what this is about. Call it what it is.
If we're gonna call it what it is, then after the decisions that have happened today from everybody that's won or that's lost, this is gonna move forward to November, December. Fundora's gonna do what he do. Isaac Cruz he gotta get bumped, I guess, with Tank. I don't know if Lara and Zarafa are gonna run it back. I don't know if Lara's gonna fight somebody else at 160. I don't know what's going on, but folks came up. They stepped out tonight. I think it was a pretty good card. I don't really have any issue with the output of the card. Um, it was cool. It was cool.
Coach Zeus,
Good.
if I may,
You bro.
But
what reason would we have to see Erislandy Lara and Michael Zarafa run it back after tonight?
So here's my issue with it. The Lara Zarafa fight, because remember, Zarafa was supposed to fight somebody completely different. He was supposed to fight Falcoa, if I'm not mistaken. That was the
okay.
fight, and then they switched him out with I forgot the dude's name. Vincenzo, I forgot what his name is, but I'll run it back and give you his name. We talked about this just like 2 weeks ago. It was me, it was AK, it was I want to say McClain. All of us was talking about it, and I was like, hold on, Slim, I really don't like the Zarafa fight because he already had a fight lined up. This just screams sitcom. You know what I'm saying? Like, this screams
How's that?
WWE.
That happens all the
Because
time.
Zarafa was supposed to fight either the IBF or the WBO guy, whichever one Lara has. I don't know if Lara has WBC
Fine,
or WBA.
but the distinction with that situation is that means he was in training camp, right? So he's training for a fight. They didn't just pick somebody off the couch and then so that happens all the time. Fights happens all the time. Like
Right. But however, just real quick, just to keep it fair, AKA, even if you are in training camp, you're training for a particular opponent with particular attributes.
Understand that. We understand that, but we know this for a certified fact that even when you go to camp, you are on notice already that this could potentially happen. These fighters are notified ahead of time. We don't know. The fighters are aware that ahead of time that you could potentially, that this schedule could change. They know that already.
Listen, this is my issue with this fight, and I said this a couple weeks ago, and we were on here when I said this. Zarafa was supposed to fight Falcoa, right? The for the vacant IBF or WBO middleweight title. It was a vacant jump. Cool. I think it's Esquiva Falcoa, whatever his name is. That was a better fight for Zarafa because Zarafa actually had a chance to win that, right? Now, WBA comes in and says, nah, you about to fight Lara. And we about to put this other dude, Galliera, Vincenzo, whatever his name is. We're going to put him in there with Falcoa, and that's just what it's going to be. My whole thing about it was I thought that the Zarafa fight and Falcoa fight would have been better for Zarafa because, one, they already had that slated. It was for a vacant title, and then it would have set up so that after Zarafa won that, then he could have fought anybody else at 160 if he wanted to. So they throw him in here with this dude. It was just completely, I don't know where it came from, because literally 4 weeks ago, this was not a fight. This was not a fight 4 weeks ago. So now the fight happens. The dude gets knocked out in a second. They stopped it in the second round TKO, whatever the case may be. My whole issue is why did they switch all of this up? Did Lara not have another opponent? Was there nobody else available for him to fight?
Well,
I'm confused.
I'm just saying.
Respectfully,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick. Honestly, who was lining up to fight Erislandy Lara? Even though he had a belt at 160, even though he has been here, he has been a champion and whatnot. Like, we weren't even discussing Erislandy Lara for quite some time. Matter of fact, I was surprised when I turned on the TV tonight and saw that Erislandy Lara was fighting. I was like, really?
But your boy that got the WBO, the one that got the WBC interim, right? Carlos Adames, right? How you say his name? Carlos Adames?
Yeah, Carlos Adames.
He's right there. Why didn't that fight happen? Why wasn't that fight
Between who?
Lara and Adames was right there. It was right there. It's weird.
It's a conflict of camps with them. I gotta verify. I think it's a conflict of camps with them. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that may happen in the future. But I mean, Erislandy don't have. Listen, Erislandy been in the game Eric Landy is what 38, 39, maybe 40 now. Eric Landy
40.
been in the game.
He's gonna be
He's
turning 41 soon.
He's turning 40. He's been in the ring with the creme of the creme. Landy don't have to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? We don't need nothing else from Adames. Need to be looking for Janet back and guys like that. You don't need to run it with Landy. If Landy doing something else, Landy has done that already. I've been in the ring with Canelo. I've been in the ring with Trout. I did all that already. You know what I'm saying?
The way that you feel about Canelo getting in there with Jaime Munguia, the way that you said that Jaime Munguia is going to get destroyed by Canelo Alvarez, the way that you feel like that's not a fair fight. That's the way I felt about the Lara and Zarafa fight. I felt like Zarafa was going to be outclassed.
40.
It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. That 40 can box. Zarafa don't hold a candle to him. You saw it tonight. He don't hold a candle to him.
You have a problem with this guy fighting a 40-year-old, but you completely cool with a Jaime Munguia getting in there with Canelo.
We both already said we would have rather seen the David Benavidez fight. You and I both agreed. What I told you months ago, the reason Jaime's going to get it is because there is a casual fan base that wants it. That's why it happened. That's why we're not getting a David Benavidez fight. I told you back in November, I said there's whispers. Jaime Munguia, y'all shut it down. I told y'all in December, the whispers are growing. Y'all shut it down. I'm not speaking from a perspective of anything other than these are what the casuals want. You and I definitely want to see David Benavidez and Canelo. I would have preferred to see Carlos Adames and Erislandy Lara go in there and fight each other.
You still might get it.
Yeah, but it would have been better to see it tonight. We didn't need Michael Zarafa in there. Michael could have went and fought the other dude, and they are better in terms of the styles make fights. They're closer in talent with each other and style for each other. That would have made a better fight. This fight didn't even go 3 rounds.
That's fine.
It didn't go 3 rounds.
We didn't need no long drawn out fight. We didn't need no long drawn out. That's fine. We didn't need no long drawn out fight.
I see what you want, man. It's cool, man. It's cool, you know.
Yeah, but real quick, just to circle back to Jaime Munguia, they do have a common opponent recently in John Ryder.
Right.
Whereas Canelo, to some people, he looked like he kind of struggled with him, even though he did put him down a couple times. The fact that he couldn't take out or stop John Ryder, whereas Jaime Munguia came along, dropped him 3 times, stopped him, forced him into retirement. So, I mean, it set the stage for the casuals to come in and be like, oh, what boxer can we get that will get us the biggest gate and the biggest return on investment if we make this fight?
Yeah, fact.
And I hate to say it,
that's
if we are considering
what you just said is a farce. What you just said is a farce.
I know with us being internal boxing people, I know it's a farce. But if we are looking at money and we are looking at like getting as many eyeballs as we can, including the casuals, that person was Jaime Munguia over David Benavidez. I don't like it. You don't like it. Nobody likes it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, AK. I'm gonna be honest with you, AK. When David Benavidez and Boo Boo fought, right? The casuals, it didn't really hit. It didn't really hit for them. It didn't do what it was supposed to for them.
That's not a fair shake. That's not a fair shake.
You're right. It's not. Listen, hey, AK. You're right. It's not fair. But we're talking about casuals versus guys that really know boxing, right? We're talking about folks that can name at least 6 or 7 people in each different weight class versus people that only know 4 or 5 boxers. They don't know who David Benavidez is. When the David Benavidez,
they do know David Benavidez. They did. A lot of casuals don't know who Boo Boo is. They know who David.
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
No. Stop.
Okay.
Anybody's name that gets said on syndicated television is known.
Okay, I hear you.
The name, hold on. Listen to me. Very few fighters' names get spread on those airwaves. He's one of them. They know who he is.
Okay,
his opponent wasn't well known. There's no such thing as you can't. If somebody's name gets said on syndicated radio, where people are viewing in the millions, that name gets said like that. No, they know who he is. It's just that his opponent, Boo Boo's name doesn't get mentioned.
I
not the
hear what
same.
you're saying. I hear what you're saying, AK. I promise you I do hear what you're saying. Here's the problem. And this is always going to be a problem. The problem is this. David Benavidez for Boo Boo Andretti. I threw an entire event for it. The casuals that showed up did not know what the hell was going on. They didn't know who David Benavidez was. They
That's
didn't
a
know who Boo
select
Boo Andretti
audience.
was. Right? You said what?
It's a select audience.
Right, you're right. It is a select audience. I have been to different parts of Mexico from all of last year up to now, thanks to my job with the things that I've got going on. All of them wanted Jaime Munguia to fight Canelo. They wanted that. When Jaime Munguia got finished beating John Ryder, they said, "Yep, Canelo's next. Canelo's next. Canelo's next. We got to let it happen. It's got to
That
happen."
proves
And I
nothing
said,
to me.
now
That
here's
proves
the thing.
nothing to me.
Now here's the thing. I said, well, what about David Benavidez? David Benavidez has been there. It's we want to see Jaime Munguia. This is what the casuals are saying. AK?
So you're talking. So basically, what you just told me, people from a particular country, right, want their guy. They embrace this guy more than they embrace the other guy. That's all you're telling me right now. They embrace Jaime more than they embrace David. That's all you're telling me.
If I may offer another potential perspective, it's more of seeing that their hero, Canelo, is getting older. He's on his way out. Who potentially is going to become the new face and the new name for Mexican boxing on a global stage?
Exactly.
Is that going to be Jaime Munguia? Is that going to be David Benavidez? Or is it going to be someone else? But if you went to casuals right now and you showed them pictures of Jaime Munguia, David Benavidez, or someone from Top Rank, let's say, for instance, you line those three up side by side, 9 times out of 10, they're going to point to Jaime Munguia.
They're definitely going to point to Jaime.
They're going to point to Jaime.
Tell it for a casual, because this is what casuals ask. Well, what's his record? Who did he last fight? Let's go see the highlights of his last fight. 43-0. Just fought John Ryder, a guy who Canelo fought, right? Who the casuals are going to say Canelo had a difficult time beating, but Jaime Munguia had an easier time beating him. This is what casuals saying. It's not what we saying. This is what casuals are saying. Then they're going to go look at them highlights and see.
Okay,
Jaime Munguia.
Time for a minute. Time out. You don't have to keep the sales pitch on. We know the snow job they did to make the fight. I ain't trying to cut you off, but it's like you're insulting my intelligence right now. Like,
no,
I know that you are clearly insulting. Stop spinning. You are clearly insulting my intelligence right now.
AK, what's crazy is I wasn't insulting your intelligence before when we first had this conversation. When you just I'm saying
I understand. Listen, I get it. You was right. They end up making the fight, but the snow job. We saw the snow job. We saw everybody. We know what they did to put it together. And what made it all happen was he does not want to fight this particular man because Canelo has the power to do whatever he wants to do. Whatever he wants to do, he is the money guy. He is the marquee guy. The reason we're here because he does not want to fight this guy. That's the number one answer. Point blank period. He does not want to fight the other guy. That's the bottom line.
What Canelo has done in the sport of boxing is he's shown other boxers that their voice is more powerful than the superpowers that be. And now that these other boxers have seen that, you're going to see a lot more boxers carve their way into belts without having to fight the most difficult person. Right. Isaac Cruz just won a belt at 140 fighting Rolando Romero. He didn't fight Subriel Matias. He didn't fight Devin Haney. He didn't fight Teofimo Lopez. He fought Rollie. He got the belt. And guess what? He's going to fight either Ishmael Barroso or he's going to fight one of them motherfuckers next. And he's going to carve his way into a legacy at 140 where he probably not going to have to fight nobody that's difficult, if we're being 100% honest. We're going to see more boxers doing that. And that's going to suck for us that really enjoy boxing. But the casuals don't give a crap, much less. They just want to see who they think is good, fight who they think is good, even though we know who's really good and who's not good.
And to echo, to tag on to Zeus's point, just like we ourselves in the sport, casuals love knockouts. They don't care if it's a gross mismatch. They don't care if it's like, oh, well, this person is definitely supposed to win. Like the same way that Rollie got ate up tonight by Pitbull. That's the type of thing that they want to see. They
Let
want
me
to
tell
see
you.
someone get mauled. They want to see someone get bludgeoned. They want to see someone out on their feet. That's what they want to see.
Let me tell y'all what's happening. Let me go through this soliloquy real quick.
Okay.
This is what's happening. The money came back. See, right before the pandemic hit, we hit this brick wall, and everybody was complaining about boxing was falling off and all that, and then things dried up a little bit because of the pandemic. So then all of a sudden, we started getting the better fights. We was getting more back into it, but now the money's back, and now we can go get money from here. Now we back to where we was at 3-4 years ago, where now we getting nothing but a bunch of nonsense. The money's back. So now we playing these games. I only get mad about it because I get, the other day I put up a post. I got people attacking me, telling me I need to learn this and learn that. But I'm telling you, these sanctioned bodies and these promoters do whatever they want.
They do.
They do whatever they
You're
want.
absolutely right.
And certain fighters can do whatever they want. This situation right here now, okay, Earl Spence came out and told everybody that I'm turning down the rematch with Terrence Boyd Crawford because I had to do this with my eyes. My eyes was messed up. My eyes is messed up, so I can't fight this man. Then they turned around and said, we're going to make Terrence the mandatory for the winner of this fight, right? Now we got Earl in the ring, and they're talking about the guy who won the fight potentially defending his title against Earl Spence. Okay, my only issue is Earl. You couldn't run it back with the fight that you had set up, but you could fight this. You could fight Sasquatch. That makes sense to y'all. It doesn't. It doesn't. We get it. Boxing going to do whatever they want to do, and it look like they want to set it. And look like his father was definitely like, yes. You see how you see? Come here, take a picture with me, Earl. You see that? So it's clearly that we see what that's going on. Get him back, get him killed, get a payday. Cool. What does that leave Terrence Crawford?
I'm gonna be honest. If they said Terrence was gonna be the mandatory for this situation, Terrence Crawford can force somebody's hand at this point. There's not too many people in boxing.
You better stop playing, bro. Do you see what? Look, man. Terrence can go that route, but you got billionaires that's gonna be like, look, man, this is what we do.
If you think Sebastian Fundora versus Earl Spence is better,
I clearly said it's not. I clearly said I had a problem with that fight.
But here's the thing: Terrence Crawford is now looking at 154 and saying, "Hold on, you mean to tell me Sebastian can be my next opponent? Let me go ahead and cash in these sweepstakes, bro." Terrence, in my opinion, Terrence wanted to fight Tsysu. In my opinion, I could be 1,000% wrong.
He did.
In my opinion, he wanted Tsysu. He wanted and now that it's just Sebastian Fundora there, Terrence gonna go in there and box circles around that man, bro. And if you think that Earl Spence could,
he's not getting that fight.
You said what?
He's not getting that fight.
Why wouldn't he get that fight? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he?
They not to get that fight, bro. You clearly see what they're doing. They're clearly moving away from that fight. He's not getting that fight. He's gonna have to make another decision.
If Terrence Crawford say, "Hey, set me up with Sebastian Fundora," and Earl Spence say, "Hey, set me up with Sebastian Fundora," you think they're gonna give it to Earl over Terrence?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in November. We'll see.
Okay. I mean, brother. I don't know. Okay, again, you telling me I want you to come back for me for a minute. The same people or some of the rims are the same people that's doing some of the things they're doing right now. They're moving people to where they want to be at, how they want to put them. They're putting the fights together, how and when they want to. You think you're gonna force their hand to do something? Yeah, we'll tell you. Yeah, you can fight. You can fight them when we finish.
If Terrence Crawford wants to be at 154, right?
You don't have you think an independent fighter without a promoter is gonna go against? Man, stop, bro. I ain't trying to disrespect that.
Listen,
stop.
I hear what you're
he's
saying,
not even
bro.
going to play it that way. He's not even going to play it that way. Terrence not going to play it that way.
Listen, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. They stripped your boy at 154 of his belts. Right now, they're
147.
only
They stripped him of one belt at 147.
As of March 20th, 2024, the WBC and the IBF are wide open at 154. There's nobody that holds those belts.
That's
Those are
Jamel's
vacant belts.
belts. Are you talking about?
No, I'm just
Terrence
talking about
belts?
Jamel. I'm talking about Jamel because WBA, I think Israel Madrimov still got that one. And
Right.
then Sebastian will have the WBO jump.
I mean, we get that part, but see, here's the difference. Jamel left the division. We can't argue about that. And as you see, they trying to keep everything popping. So unless you think Terrence gonna go up there and fight for a vacant title, that what you saying?
Yes. If he wants to be at 154, there's the IBF and the WBC right there waiting for him.
He's not tripping off. He's tripping off big fights. He won one or two more big fights.
If that's the case, right? If
that is the case for him.
Listen, if that's the case, right? If he's not jumping anywhere past 154. It's not gonna happen.
He was willing to go to 168.
If that's what you believe, cool.
He was willing to go to 168.
He's not going to 168. It's not happening. It's not happening. Terrence Crawford will retire at 154, and that's that. He's not going to 160. He's not going to 168. We gotta let that dream fly.
I'm not tripping. Listen, man. All I'm literally telling you is what he said out of his mouth. I ain't saying nothing other than what he said. And this guy Bernie the Boxer was on the live just the other night. He said the exact same thing. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying what they saying.
Shoot, listen, if the money's right, you gonna go wherever you need to go.
I feel like with Terrence Crawford, the money will be right at 154. I think Brian Mendoza really fucked up because I'm gonna be honest. If Brian messed up, I'm sorry. I feel like if Brian Mendoza would have won, I feel like Errol Spence would have had a spot right there. I feel like he wouldn't need to be the holler around for somebody at 154. He wouldn't need to try to go after.
Not hollering around. They clearly have a path for him. Somebody clearly picked up the phone, told Earl, "Hey man, get yourself together. Get to Vegas. We got something for you." You clearly see the play.
Here go the worst part though. Here go the worst part. Okay, Errol Spence fights Sebastian Fundora. He beats him, right? He now holds. You said what?
But go ahead. He's not.
No, we're just entertaining.
No. I'm just entertaining the conversation. Errol Spence goes and beats Sebastian Fundora. He's now the WBO belt holder at 154. TC just gonna go right in there and take it from him, bro. It don't matter, bro. Errol Spence is in a bad place right now. He better go fight for one of them vacant.
How that a bad place? That's not a bad place. That's not. It is a bad place.
It is a bad place.
Listen, that's not a bad place, bro, because you're coming off a horrific loss on a mega fight, right? If he was to go up and win another title, even if he loses again to Terrence Crawford, he's playing with house money now. I'm playing with house money. I can't lose. Even if I lose to him, I didn't lose. I'm playing with house money now. You understand what I'm saying?
He lost
because now the rematch with Terrence Crawford. It's still it's another mega fight. I'm about to get another mega payday. It's another pay-per-view fight. Whether I lose to him or not, don't matter. I already lost to him. I'm not losing.
If I'm Errol Spence, bro, I'm going to go get that IBF and that WBC. I'm a force Terrence Crawford hand. Go win you a belt at WBO or WBA, and then let's fight each other. Let's unify something.
I mean, if you want to do it that way, fine. But I mean, that we just trying to add on to what's already built.
Nah, I feel you. I'm just saying, Errol Spence. I don't even think Earl not 30 yet, is he? Earl, a young boy.
Earl is over 30.
How old is Earl?
He's like early mid-30s.
He's not mid-30, but early 30s.
Yeah. Earl not. The bottom line is, Bud is older than Earl. Bud older. Than Earl.
Yeah. Yes. Bud's around my age.
Yeah, Bud looking real soon to walk that little blue mile and get out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of that, since you said that, now what I'm saying to you is this: he has to make a decision very soon because we're getting to that dangerous point where you're going to be out of the ring for over a year, and he doesn't like that.
Which is why I'm saying he's going to force somebody's hand so that he could get a fight at 154. Even if he
we understand he's fighting at 154. We understand he's fighting at 154. We don't have a problem with that. But what it looks like to do, it looks like the powers that be are going to make it so that Tsysu, Fundora, that right there, that won't be his next fight.
That's cool. Well, if that's the case, he can go fight Israel Madrimov next.
Man, why don't he go to one? Why don't he fight Boots at 154?
Listen, it don't matter what he do. He need a fight now.
Look at you. Look why your face. Why your face say that? Why your face looking at it like that?
Boots?
Who would you rather see? Who say the name you just said a minute ago? Zeus? Who? Israel? Who?
Israel Madrimov.
You would rather see
Israel
him fight him?
Madrimov just got a title there. He just got a title there. So I mean, like that one actually, like, okay, that's plausible. That actually does make
You
sense.
like that fight? Why you like that fight better? Why? Tell me why you like that fight better.
It's not
Tell
a
me.
fact of me liking the fight better. It's a fact of you go with who's already there. He's already there. He already has a belt. It's right there. Just that's the fight to make, especially if it's a fight that you know you can win. It's a fight that you know you can win. You could actually turn the public opinion around, get back in their good graces, and get back in the conversation. That's the fight to make. Get back in the conversation.
If Boots really want to fight Crawford, right? Why don't he just jump up to 154? Force his hand, bro.
He said he'll do it.
Yeah, force his hand, bro. Force his hand.
It ain't gonna happen, man. We can move on to that one. I mean, the fights that we want, that fight ain't gonna happen. Benavidez and Canelo, that ain't gonna happen. So,
But you know as well as I do in boxing, it's not going to happen yet. The only time that it's definitely not going to happen is when you hear retirements.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I think Boots has an entire 365 days to do what he needs to do in the public eye so that he can get that fight with Terrence Crawford.
there's nothing he can do.
No. Listen. I'm gonna tell you exactly what he could do. If Boots was able to get on Castanet stream, get on Power 105, get on Shade 45, all that, just go everywhere and get all the casuals to really realize who Boots is, then they're gonna say, wait a minute, Boots is the same weight as Terrence Crawford. We just saw what he did to Spence. Can he do the same thing to Boots? Once the casuals start pushing that narrative, it's over.
Shooting pipe dreams.
No, I'm not. I'm not shooting pipe dreams. I'm not shooting pipe dreams.
Here's the funny thing about that. On the Breakfast Club and all of these platforms you're talking about, Terrence Crawford is saying his name. Terrence Crawford is mentioning him because he just said the other day that everywhere I go, people ask me about this kid. And he gives everybody the same answer. The kid ain't done nothing yet. His name ain't big enough yet. This, that, and the third. So whether Boots doing it or not, he's saying it.
No, but he's got a valid point though.
But I'm saying people on them airwaves are hearing the man himself say, people keep saying this man's name.
You do realize though, right? Like Boots isn't a household name, right?
I understand. You just hear what I just said. You said he need to go on these what's the names, right? And
right,
I agree.
He does. He needs
but
to.
What I'm saying is, but the man himself is saying his name on those airwaves.
But here's the thing though. Unfortunately, the issue with Boots is that visually people have seen Boots. People love Boots and whatnot. However, they cannot link the image of Jerome Boots Ennis with the name Jerome Boots Ennis.
Exactly.
They haven't connected that they're one and the same. They think that they're two different people. So when people are talking about Boots, it's like, who the hell is Boots? But through Instagram, through Facebook, through like replays, through YouTube, people have seen Boots. People love Boots. People are excited by Boots, but they don't know who he is. They know what Boots looks like, but they don't know him.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. Y'all give him out a lot of blue cards tonight.
No, we not.
You give him out a lot of blue cards tonight, but I want y'all to keep the same energy with everybody. Look for you two right here. Y'all you handed out you hand out a stack of blue cards tonight. That's fine, but I want y'all to keep the same energy.
Listen, in 365 days, if Boots can bolster his name. He don't even got to be a household name. He don't got to be a household name. Just become a bar name. Just become a name in the bar. You're going to get that fight. You can't get that fight right now because who
You asking
knows
the man to
Boots?
turn into Jake Paul.
No. That's not what I'm asking. And we just
Yes,
had
you
this
are.
conversation. We just had this
You asking the man
conversation.
to turn into Jake Paul.
We just had this conversation last week. We said Jerron Boots Ennis is somebody who's known on the East Coast. I named all the places that he fought, which are a bunch of East Coast places. They're not sold out arenas. They're Atlantic Boxing Club and shit like that, stuff like that. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to curse. Then we talked about Chris Eubank and where he's fought at, and all the big places that he's fought at across season or everything like that. You can't tell me that a guy that's fighting in a spot that's not even the biggest arena in that city, let alone that state. You can't tell me that somehow he's garnering some sort of attention for a guy that can fight anybody from 140 all the way up to 154. It's not crazy. You're talking about a guy that just said, yo, I can go fight Canelo at 168. But you want me to believe that Boots has enough name power, show power to create that fight?
You talking something else. When you hold these conversations, you got to figure out which route you want to go. If you want to now, if your position is always politics, fine, stay politics. But we always want to see the better fighters fight each other. That's what we're clamoring for. But if you want to stick with politics, that's fine. What you're saying is the politics of the game. We understand that.
AK, we agree too much for me to not talk about the other side of it. We agree on everything.
I understand it. But everything has been politics. Politics, like I said, you gave out a stack of blue cards tonight.
AK, if you're telling me from now on when we have these conversations, you want me to speak from the
No. Speak from your perspective, but I'm always gonna give the other side.
Yeah. That's why these are always good conversations, because you're talking from a place of this is what boxing wants. This is what boxing needs. I'm talking from a place of this is who's writing the check and this is why it looks this way. At the end of the day, we agree. I would 100% love to see Boots fight Crawford. I would love to see that. I wouldn't have a problem. I want to see that tomorrow. It's just not going to happen because the politics not going to let it happen yet. Now, if in 365 days, Boots creates a name for himself so that any bar you walk in, when you start talking boxing, they start talking about the three-headed monster and Boots, cool. Put them in there. Put them in there. They're going to make it happen. It's just right now he ain't got it.
Boxing is one. Go ahead.
So just real quick. You know how boxing works. Just like with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. They always give us the fight we want 2 or 3 years too late. When we want the fight, like we as boxing, the fights that we want them right now. Talk to who you gotta talk to, put up whatever money you gotta talk to, but make this fight right now. Boxing just looks at us and says, no. And they throw out some other BS fights and, oh, we're going to watch this. This ain't the fight that was supposed to be. And then, like, eventually, when no one's talking about the fight anymore, when no one cares about the fight anymore, then finally they put the fight out and we're just like, okay, I mean, like at the time, it was just like, look, like, even before, it was like, okay, Errol Spence might have a chance of beating Crawford. Like, it could have. But then, like, by the time that we got the fight, it's like, oh, Crawford's going to win this. But it's going to be like a massacre, bloodbath. And lo and behold, the fight that happened when it was finally presented to us, what happened? Errol Spence got dog walked.
Right.
And that was the fact because that was too much too late. Like, when we asked for the fight, when we wanted the fight to take place, it would have been more competitive. It would have been like, oh, shoot, I don't know which way to go. This is a 50-50 toss-up. But when the fight happened, it was like, oh, okay, this is officially happening. The weigh-in happened. And like, look, just, why are we doing this?
Real quick, I want to give a shout-out to Elijah Pierce. You know, he fought last night on the Zone, the main event.
Facts.
And he got knocked down in the second round, and it looked like he was on his way to a shocking, devastating L, but he weathered the storm, got his composure together, stood strong, and 2 rounds later, he got the guy out of there. So shout out to him with the big win. Also, shout out to my man Brian Custer. appreciate you shouting out and keeping my man name in the 140-pound division, because you know he clearly said during the Rollie fight, let's not forget about Gary Antoine Russell too. So shout out to my man Brian Custer for keeping it 100. And yeah, even though we know it's not a nowhere that would be, listen to me, Pitbull versus Twan will be an excellent fight. We're not gonna get it, but it'd be an excellent fight. Excellent fight. Action packed. Hold on. What's your objective with that?
I'm not objecting. I'm just going to ask, moving personal bias to the side, who would you see winning that fight if it were to happen?
Are you serious? You asking that question?
You can even take the
I'm
bias out.
seriously
It's still
asking
gonna
the
be the
question.
same answer.
Taking
It's
the
still
bias
gonna be the
out.
same answer.
Are you asking that question for real?
Yeah, serious as a heart attack, my man.
Twan winning that fight, bro.
Okay.
He's nowhere near Rollie.
Decision, knockout, stoppage.
That's up to Pitbull.
That's up to Pitbull. Okay.
Yeah. Cause see, here's the thing. His come forward style, his aggressive style, plays to Twan's game. That plays to Twan's game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the punches that's coming back, even though Rollie was Rollie was landing some sharp shots, but they're gonna come in different angles. You know what I mean? They're not gonna be as telegraphed as Rollie. I mean, it's a what I'm saying is this. It's a great fight action-wise. You know what I mean? Because you got two guys that can get in the inside and really bang, and you got two guys that can really crack. Sound like you picking Pitbull. Sound like.
No. I press because I want to ensure that the argument is coming from a strong, validated place. I agree with you that Twan would definitely beat Pitbull. I agree with you. However, the way that I see it more that I don't see it as going to be a knockout or stoppage. I do see it as a dominant decision. I see it as being able to negate the oncoming pressure, being able to come from various angles, being able to outland and outscore convincingly. And like that's just honestly the bout that I see right now. Now,
I would love that.
As we've seen before, all fights are 50-50.
Right.
Like honestly, I mean, and when that fight actually happens, I mean, there were a lot of people leading up to this fight saying that Rollie was going to put on a master class and be able to embarrass Pitbull Cruz. And I just laughed at it. I was like, yeah, okay, all right. I mean,
Rollie put on a master
lo and
class?
behold, what happened tonight?
Wait a minute, Rollie put on a master class? Rollie put on
that's what
you must have been listening to Ill
about.
Will, bro. That must have had that Ill Will had to be the first person on the top of that list saying Rollie's going to put on a master class.
Let's shoot. Like
I know Ill Will was the first person. He definitely is the first person you heard. He is the president of the Rollie fan club.
But you would be surprised. You would be surprised because people were talking reckless, but they just exposed how casual that they were in not knowing the sport and not knowing who Isak Pitbull Cruz actually was. Tonight they found out who he was, but leading up to this fight, they didn't know who he was. So I was like, okay, I'll let you go with that. But tonight it was just, I told you so.
Really?
I done told you.
So, man, comment section, y'all quiet tonight. There's a lot of y'all in here. Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me. Talk to me, comment section. What y'all want to talk about tonight before we get out of here? Because it is Easter Sunday, and I don't want to keep y'all up too late. You know what I mean? I want y'all to
still got a sunrise service I got to go to. So
sunrise?
Yeah, we still do sunrise services.
What time is that?
Probably around 5:30, 6 a.m.
Goodness. Man, that's
But
okay.
yeah, so one thing I gotta talk about tonight. Honestly, what took fight of the night for me was Sergey Bokashuk and Brian Mendoza. That fight right there, like I first, I mean, definitely congratulations to Sergey Bokashuk and what he did and being able to box a dominant fight against Brian Mendoza. But I gotta tip my hat to Brian Mendoza. Like the heart, the chin, the resiliency, the tenacity, like you could tell that Brian Mendoza came from those streets. You could tell because like the fact that he was eating all these flush shots, these uppercuts, and he never folded. I mean, like whatever his strength and conditioning is, whatever his endurance program is like, he needs to be a study for boxers to follow, especially if you are going to be on that world class championship level. Because not once did he buckle, not once did he fold, not once did he back away from the fight. He was right there in front of Bokashuk, a boxer that, with his wins, had a 100% knockout ratio. 100% in his wins. Even in the fight with Brandon Adams, that he lost by knockout. Like there were a few moments he could have gotten Brandon Adams out of there at some point. So the thing was, this was the first one that ever stood in front of a knockout artist and made it to the final bell.
And you know what? I'm sorry. Everybody posting it. You see tonight when the Ugas came on the screen.
Oh, yeah. I was like, shoot, Zab Judah changed a lot.
I ain't gonna lie though. When they
Like, bruh.
first put the camera, when they first zoom in the camera on it from the side before it zoomed in all the way, it did look like it was that. But I'm like, bro, fix it though. Like whoever
But credit to
fix
them,
it.
they yanked it down real quick. It was just a
Not
quick
fast
flash.
enough
Zab
because
Judah, yoink.
the internet is frying. Not fast enough, buddy.
Not fast enough. You're right. You're right. Not fast
Matter of
enough.
fact,
But they
I'm
did
about to
take it
send it to
down.
Zach. I'm about to send it to Zach. I'm about to send it to Zach. Zach gonna be like, man, you don't get out of here, okay? But they did it, Zach. What you want me to say? I
Yeah,
can do
I
it.
mean, I mean, it happens.
Biggest
But
day. But at least Brian Custer said the real person's name.
now you've known me now for about 2-3 years, give or take. So, what I'm about to say, you might find funny, but I miss Steve Farhood.
Why?
Steve Farhood. At least I knew what scorecards I was going to get from him as an unofficial scorer.
He wasn't Harold Letterman.
What was that?
He wasn't Harold Letterman.
Hey. Easy with Harold Letterman. Rest in peace.
Man, y'all
But
know Harold Letterman has some terrible cards. So did Steve Farhood. You like Steve Farhood cards? Is that what you telling me?
no. But
Okay.
compared to Joe Goosen's cards,
Oh yeah, Joe Goosen
I'd
was on.
rather have
Hey
Steve
man,
Farhood.
listen.
And that's where I'm getting at. I would
I ain't gonna
rather
lie to you.
have
Yeah, you
Steve
right.
Farhood's
You know what?
cards
I'd rather
than
have Steve
Joe
Farhood
Goosen's
too.
cards.
Yeah, you right. Because
Like Joe
Goose tonight,
Goosen, like I almost felt like I needed to come to Jesus talk. Like come here.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. No,
but
I think Goose had some great Goose tonight. Like Goose, what the fuck? Look at that.
oh wow, but yeah, I mean honestly, just overall with the card tonight, I felt that the matchmakers did an exceptional job putting everybody together. We had a really good night of action, and to kick off PBC on Prime, like if every card that they're going to produce is going to be something like this, not all of them pay-per-view, because I mean like I only did this $170 card, but I'm not doing this every time. I'm not. No. But if PBC on Prime is going to look like this, with the quality of the production, the lighting, the graphic, like everything about tonight. It was crisp, it was pristine, and I'm a fan. Like, okay, I can keep doing this. But honestly, I have no complaints about tonight. I thought tonight was good officiating. Like I could understand the scorecards that were presented tonight. So even though with the main event, like I'm kind of solid, sort of different, I can at least understand the scores. And even as a judge, what our goal in boxing is supposed to be is to speak justice to the bout that actually took place in the ring. So it shouldn't be like a revisionist history type thing. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, he won the fight. That's all that mattered. It's like the scorecard should at least give whoever's looking at the scorecards a general idea of the bout that actually happened.
Big
So
facts.
honestly, with that, I'm happy with tonight. Every scorecard, I got it. I agree. Like, that if boxing was more consistent like this, we could bring more people back into the sport that have been jaded and walked away for quite some time.
Wow.
So overall, I'm happy.
It's a big statement. But with that being said, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. Could let y'all get to your Easter Sunday. You got to get up in 3 or 4 hours. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
get out of here.
Fair enough.
We appreciate y'all that tapped in and appreciate y'all staying with me. Y'all been consistent tonight. Quiet in the comment section, but appreciate y'all viewing. I want to say this. Please follow, like, subscribe. Let's Talk Sports, y'all, on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. You know what I mean? Leave a comment section. Tell me what y'all, what we could do better here. What better way we could serve you. We do got more stuff coming up soon. Sponsors, interviews. About to get a hot. We had to take a little hiatus, take care of a few things, but we back. James, let the people know where they can find you at.
All right. So you can find me at Raijin Boxing, Raijin Boxing on Instagram. We are working on some things, just getting adjusted with some things to try to advance myself in my career. But for the time being, AKA, always a pleasure. Thank you for the space here. Remember to follow Let's Talk Sports, y'all, on various platforms. AKA, my brother, a blessing and a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Be cool, my brother. We about to get out of here. Hopefully, like I said, everybody, I don't know where we turn around, if the road gonna turn, but we not gonna leave you boxing, but you gotta do better. Gotta do better. Gotta do better. You know what I mean? We gotta do better. With that said, we out of here, man. Be blessed, man.
All right.